Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a heel empath, and I just like having these little conversations on the way I feel about things. I collect data and report, and Tucker's moving around. That's Benny. We're all settling in, getting in our spots. We got Benzo here. He likes his head under the blankets, but he likes his back open. He gets hot in hard pants. He likes to lay in front of the fan. Tucker likes it under the light blanket. They all have their things, but at bedtime, Artie goes under all the blankets. And if it gets too hot, and if I don't uncover him, he doesn't have enough sense to come out. And if I don't uncover him in 10 minutes, 15 minutes later, he's under the blankets. We all just try and help each other out, huh, Benny? Because sometimes we just don't got enough sense. We don't got enough sense on our own. You say hi, Benno? You say hi, Marge? Or does a good itch scratch his spot right there, Marge? That's the one. Oh, but they don't want to see that. They don't want to see that. Anyway, so what's going on in the world today? I don't really know. I did venture out. I did go on an outing myself. I just went up the walk. I was gonna walk. I just went up the street. I was going to walk, and I ended up driving anyway, because it was kind of a busy time of day, and sometimes I don't feel like being a pedestrian. I've been a pedestrian before. I've done a video about that. I've been hit by a car on the sidewalk. I know all about people not paying attention. As a result, I'm extra cautious. I'm extra aware Actually, I've been extra aware since I was 16. That was the thing that I got marked on my driver's test, is I didn't stop before the sidewalk. And that's what happened, is the woman tagged me in her SUV. She didn't even say sorry, dumb bitch. Anyway. So, karma is really playing a factor. I did have a conversation with the guy at the flower shop today about that, and he's like, yeah, he's like, when I do something, he told me a story about how he tipped a kid, an adult. He tipped a man at a store, and in a way people don't get tipped, and the very next day that was paid back forward to him several-fold, and that's, people are finding out. Plus, it feels so good to do things for people. Sometimes I like to just buy a freaking bouquet of flowers, supermarket flowers, and just give them to whoever. That's a nice thing to do. I don't know, the world's it's gonna get real scared for a while. People are getting skittish, you know? I don't like when people navigate around me like I'm some kind of freaking leper. I got an immune system. Sorry that you don't. You know, this is how you build up immune systems. But it's all... I don't know, anyway, the kid and I had a pretty cool conversation today about that. And he's young. You know, he's young and he recognizes it. And I said, you know what? I said, and when I'm freaking a jerk, I'm freaking, like, because I'm clumsy. So, like, I'm a jerk, and I'll turn around and do one of those, like, cartoon things where I step on a freaking rake and get hit myself in the face with a stick. Stupid stuff like that. That's how karma works for me. Like, did that just happen? Unbelievable. So earlier, Mom and I were talking about, I'm like, Mom, so how do you want to spend the next chapter of life? What does that look like to you? I said, you want to get a little cabin by a lake and just go off and take pictures in the woods, get up early in the morning, go bird hunting, or, you know, look for deer, you know, it's like Mount Shasta is a 20-minute drive, you know. I'm like, how does that sound? She's like, yeah, let's do that. Alright, so if the universe lines up, you know, and I play more cards, alright, that's what we'll get to do next. Yeah? There's worse things that I could come up with. life is going to slow down for a little while, and then it's going to speed up, and then things are going to get real good. Man, the growing pains are not comfortable. What? Who? Tell me, who? Who do you know in life that has ascended in life and become ultra successful without never losing anything, without ever suffering any kind of loss? And there's so many people that haven't, that have like set themselves up to live in these glass bubbles, but they've done it in disingenuous ways. So now we're coming into a time that they're, nobody, people have to, we're spirits experiencing life, and there's a lot of people that haven't experienced a lot of pain and grief. And sorry to say, it's your season, because some of us have just done that, just experienced pain and grief for year after year, and you just try to be a good person, do the right thing, and it's just like, just boom, bombarded, just bullshit after bullshit after bullshit, and you can't catch a break. And I'm not freaking turning into crime or porn. I thought about it. There ain't no freaking demographic for me. Why bother? I thought about it. I mean, that's what people do to take care of their families. When people freaking stack the deck so much. I don't know. There's time I would have done anything. We were close to not having a roof over our head, and that was scary reality, and it worked out. Things always work out. That's the thing. My faith. Lucky for me, my faith is always just is always 51% bigger than my fear, and then things are okay. Anyway, I was watching Breeders. I like that show. I was watching that show earlier today, and any show where they openly talk about anger and, the reality of it. People can be a jerk, and they can feel like a freaking terrible human being for it. Anyway, it's a good show. I recommend it. And, what was the point of me telling that story? He got really mad at and my experience with that, and that's the thing, is like, people are faced with the reality of, losing a loved one. And the idea of losing a child is, I can imagine anything. It's because pain is a vibration, and if feeling a loss is a feeling of loss. So regardless, Tuck, you alright, bud? A little scratchy stuff under the blanket? So the feeling of loss is the feeling of loss. Alright? Okay. Hurt is hurt. All that stuff. So everybody can relate to everybody in that. So my experience with that, relating to that, and I get triggered. I don't get triggered. So I'll cry and share the emotion with the, because that's what an empath do. I got to be real careful about the shows I watch and stuff, right? Like that, because stuff I'm like, nope, can't watch it. Not even gonna do it to myself. So when I was 15 years old, actually a little bit of background before that, every couple years my mom would have what we called an episode. A psychotic break, essentially, is what it was. The first one and the symptoms were always the same. She'd drink a sink of coffee, then she'd start cleaning everything, and then who knows, and that's how we moved from, the first episode was in 1981. It was a week before my 5th birthday. We moved to, and I was born in 74. So 79. Anyway, so 79. Anyway, she picked us up from school. I was in preschool, pre-K, kindergarten. It was at the same school, elementary school, that my brother was, and picked us up from school, and the car was packed up, and the cat was in the car, and we started driving, and then we drove for 8-9 hours, and then, okay, well, this is where we lived. We slept on cots for a few months in the living room at my mom's friend Chris's house, and her roommate. That was, anyway, Um, anyway, that to give you an example. Then after that, there were episodes that they were after us, and I'm sure it was related to the custody suit and the fear of losing her children. A mother, but the threat of that, and she had already. That's why she took us, because at one time, she was at a doctor's office, and my aunt came and said, "Your mom called and said, that she wanted." Me to pick her up, so come with me. And that wasn't the case. And then I didn't get to see my mom for like 8 months. Mom got bamboozled, so she came out and we were gone. And then I can imagine. So anyway, everybody has childhoods like these, right? Everyone, right? Everybody, because the world is just for us. No, and then people tell me I need to get over stuff. I'm like, this is the stuff I get over. This is all this. No, I'm over all of it. All of it, I'm over. I just share it in case somebody else has a childhood experiences like that, because they never talk about it and they feel like they're alone. No, there's freaking crazy, wacky shit in the world, So anyway, Mom had these episodes every couple years, and sometimes they resulted into us getting up in the middle of the night, picking our favorite. Our few favorite things, packing a bag, and bugging out, And so the last one ended up, and then it happened until, I'm not going to tell every story of every account, but they're pretty wild. I tell some in other videos. But then when I was like 15, I started calling bullshit. And at 12 I did, but at 15, that was the last one. And that was also the year that she had her stroke. So that was also, it was her stroke was also alleviated that it was ruptured. Anyway, so she had an episode, and I was at Nova that year, and I was waiting for the late bus. So I always just waited for the late bus, and Mom was in her episode, and there's some girls on the lawn, and I went up and I started talking to them, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to go home, blah, blah, blah. And the girl's like, well, you can come stay with me. And then so I went and stayed with her. And then I was there for like 5 days, 6 days. Plus my mom had an abusive boyfriend who tried to kill me and all this stuff. It's just weird. I tell that in other videos too, those stories too. I was there like 5 nights, and then on the 6th night, I had I've always been intuitive. I've always gotten gut feelings and have been intuitive about stuff. So I got a gut feeling, and I was like, I gotta go home. So I went home, and the house was all dark, and it was like 9 o'clock at night, and everything was off. We lived in a 1-bedroom cabin. It was an old shack from when the dam was being built, Shasta Dam. And Mom was laying in bed, and I walked in, and I touched her foot, and it just said, I'm home, and she said, call an ambulance. And I was 15, and I called the ambulance, and the ambulance came, and we went into town, and they didn't put her. I noticed that when we got in the ambulance, they put her on oxygen, but when we got to the ER, that they didn't put her on. They didn't continue that, and I overheard some nurses just saying, "Oh, she's from Central Valley. She's just another druggie from Central Valley." And my mom doesn't do drugs. She never did. She did like cross hops, many things to get through hard situations from time to time, but she doesn't even drink. She's more sensitive than I am. She doesn't do drugs. So I went and I chewed out the nurses at the nurses station. I know everyone loves nurses. But I haven't always had the wonderful exchanges with them. I hear the background stuff, and I worked in hospitals and stuff, and so I get the other side of how wonderful they aren't. So anyway, I hate when they glorify any kind of anything. When somebody touts over one, I hate that, because nobody's always that rad. No. Anyway, so they said that she was having an aneurysm, and that I need to call family. Now's the time to do it. And my brother was at his friend's house. He was like 17 and a half. He was already out the door pretty much, ready to go to boot camp, Army Guard boot camp. And he didn't really like to be bothered this much. He was about ready for graduation and stuff. And I tried to call him, but the phone was busy where he was staying. I got a hold of his buddy at like 5 o'clock in the morning. They went and got him, and then he came in and he yelled at Mom for the house being a mess and having another episode and just being a crazy mother and stuff. And so I just told him to leave because he wasn't helping anything. And what happened was that she had had a major brainstem stroke. Well, there were several hours, you know, they're like, call somebody. And I'm 15. And I didn't sit there, and I didn't cry a lot. And I'm like, this is life, you know? This is life, that if you're lucky, you'll have people around you to help you get through these times, you know? That when the doctor says call somebody, and that's what's happened is people have gone through life unscathed. I know people that I'm like, this has never happened, you know. It's still have both their grandparents, you know. God bless them, you know. They have beautiful lives. And that is a wonderful thing. But there is shadow to every light. And now is the time, as people are getting older and longer in life, people are coming in to the recourse, reprise, consequence, karma of how they've treated their body in their entire lives, in their entire incarnation. You know, I'm Aries. I use my body and work. And I did it so much in my 30s that I'm 1 3/4 inches shorter than I used to be, and I'm only 46. Maybe I'm hoping one day I could stretch it out, but it's not looking too promising. And I won't have surgery. I won't do it unless I freaking find a doctor that hi Amanda, that I trust. And there's 4 people. Hi everybody, I'm in the chat. I'm reading the chat now. So more and more people, and I'm seeing that when I watch that episode of Breeders, because that guy was by himself, you know. Oh, I don't want to spoil. If anybody hasn't seen the show, I don't want to spoil it. But it's just like it's to come to Jesus, or you know, people have got to find a faith outside themselves, bigger than themselves, to believe in, because when the shit hits the fan, you know, if you think that you have controlled all the beautiful, most wonderful things in your whole entire life, and you're the captain of your ship, and nothing good ever happens, and it goes along for a while, does that mean that when something bad happens, that are you going to say that you did that too? No, people have got to believe in something bigger than themselves. You can't take the responsibility for the shit. I mean, people can. I'm really pushing for people to meditate, teach your kids to meditate. Me and the dogs meditate. I got about 48 minutes today. It was pretty cool. I'm wound up, man. And the energy, I mean, I listened to Rick's report today, and it's like, all right, Saturday morning's the time to go out. All right, cool. If I got errands to do, I'll go Saturday morning, right? Thursday, you know, it's like, don't go out, you know, don't go out this day. Because if I'm going to be fiery, that means other people are going to be fiery, and spark. That's when sparks happen. So I stay in on the fiery days. I got nothing better to do anyway. Anyway. Oh no. Oh no. Tuck. Yes, it's very hard to stay positive, especially trying to live the same day over and over and over. It's only gonna get more surreal. That's the thing. Is like the way I see it. The way I see it is that people grow and ascend from being in pain and I mean, childbirth is freaking disgusting and gross. The idea of it's also beautiful and wonderful, but come on, let's be real. It's anyway. So, and everybody's kind of doing, their soul's doing that because they got to freaking ascend so you can get to the good stuff, because we got to get past this 3D shit. I did my lighter trick. I got the ability of telekinesis. Todd, you okay, bud? You need to hit the hydration station? I just filled it. You okay? You good? The kid at the flower shop, as I put it on their hand. I do it on mine too, and then, I do it on another video back in, and I can knock it off his hand. I can rock it back and forth. I get it from my mom. She can do it too. I learned it from watching a YouTube video. A kid did it with the coconut, and I tried it. The same principle. It's the fluid inside. See. And it only took me about 20 minutes, and I was like, trying it. But you got to put it on a surface where it's, I've done it with a few people. I mean, I do it. It is woo-woo, and everything's woo-woo, and I wish people would stop saying things aren't woo-woo, because they freaking are. The whole world is woo-woo. Come here, baby Tuck. He's a mama. Come on, bud. I'm going to go under the blanket. There we go. Now he's going to go around the circles in the 3 times. Huh. No? I got dead air right now. Alright. It's hard to do lives because I have 4 dogs, man. There's always interruption. I had to close the window. Luna was barking earlier because the freaking neighbor kids. I love kids except for these. I don't like bratty. I'm one of those that I can tell who they are or flash forward when they're 7, when they're 12. I've seen them my whole. They the same people always say the same things, and it starts unless their behavior's curbed, and their behavior isn't curbed or corrected. So more Nellie Olsons and freaking anyway, like there wasn't enough. Anyway, so it's hard to do lives because there's lots of distractions. So people are coming in, but see, the thing of it is a lot of pain. This is where I lose people. A lot of pain and hurt that people are feeling, they don't know why, and a lot of it has to do with previous incarnations, okay? I'm a transmuter. I'm trying to make things better out of shitty situations. It's kind of what my role is, I go to places and I just add to things, make them more positive, Every now and again, I freaking am the jerk in this situation, but hopefully I'm cognizant enough, and I'll make it right, and not the next time, maybe. I'm human. That's what it is we always have a chance to act better in every situation, and for a long time people haven't. They've lived the easier, softer way. They've, earned the quick buck. They've sold their soul. They work for people they can't stand, and ideals of things that they can't, for bosses who go trophy hunt, and, for women that wear makeup that test on animals, and all this crap that has just been ignored, and it's okay. People are just, just getting by and trying to live their lives, but no. There's apps, there's places you can go and you can see what tests on animals, and who, what your bosses are doing with their excess. Some companies are giving their money that they make back and putting that money back in the community. Most of them are. Most of them are just going to more conferences, and that's what people aren't doing that right now. People aren't wasting much money right now. People are figuring out exactly what you don't fucking need to be comfortable in life. And what really matters is maybe a little bit more health in life. A little bit more gratitude, and that's what people are finding. You know, my phone doesn't ring any less or more than it has since I freaking slipped through the cracks 3 years ago. Nobody cares more or less about... Actually, people care more because people have watched my videos. Now, before, when I started for a year, they didn't. And every day, and I just keep doing them, and I just keep doing it, and I got 500 now, you know, and I can't go, and I can, because I have, but I can't go to, well, look at that dipshit, and how many freaking viewers he's had, you know? What kind of well, you know, it's just like what people come into what they come into when they do, and then that's my ego. That's like, see, you ain't ready, because if you're acting like that, whatever you get, you ain't gonna be doing right with it. You're gonna be, you know. But I've always been very overly generous. Like, people can't believe how much I don't give a crap about money. That's why I'm so generous, and I'm the best. I give freaking great gifts too, because I go into people's hearts and I know, you know, their patterns and things like that, and their heart space, and I get them things that I think that if I were them, I would like, kind of thing, and I'm pretty good at it. I'm a good party thrower too. I'm thinking all these ways in the new earth of how, you know, it's going to be our spark, our ideas, our thought process is going to be the new currency. You know, I'm a great party planner. Snapnax is what I'm most excited about. My photography. I got a pretty nice Nikon over there, Team Nikon, and I'll go hang out with you and your family, whatever occasion. Couple hour window, 2 hour window, 3 hour window. I don't care if it's like, you know, you got family coming in for the weekend or what, you have a barbecue. I'll just come hang out for a couple hours, take a couple hundred pictures. Yeah, a couple hundred pictures. Put them all on a flash drive, and then you pay me what you think they're worth. See, I don't edit though. I won't spend hours and hours because I get lost in the details. People like different stuff. So yeah, you absolutely, they're your pictures. You paid for them. You can go have them edited, touched up, do whatever you want with them. You know, you probably don't need much more than a little lighting, darkening here and there. But people can do what they want. They're autonomous, and then you pay what they think they're worth. Yeah. Snapnax, because I got Snapnax. It's funny, when I was 1986, I used to read books like What Color Is Your Parachute and Seed of the Soul, Gary Zukav, you know. So like and I've always been looking to what my perfect alignment is and can be, should be, and photography has always been my go-to. And what have I been? I was in the Air Force. I've been a, you know, support IT computer, you know, support desk. When you call IT and you need your computer, that was me. That would show up, you know. Worked in hospitals, big corporation security, you know. Been studying people my whole life. Now I'm just trying to help people, you know, learn from my mistakes, you know. Energy doesn't lie. Energy doesn't lie. People lie. Energy doesn't lie. And we can break our own our own hearts day in and day out, you know, by getting stuck in our own cycles. Now's an opportunity to break cycles, to live differently, 180, completely different than you've ever lived before. How is it going to look for you? I'm still I'm trying to grow my hair out, but I want to cut it off so bad. I'm struggling with all this weird stuff that I never thought I would like care about. Like, I look younger with it shorter. Why do I care? You know, all this stuff that like people step into life as you step into different parts of your age. you know? And that's why I'm trying to take care of my body now, because if I have aches and pains like I have, I can only imagine. Because mom's in good shape, 69, you know? She's pretty agile and spry and whatnot, and I could only hope so. I'm trying to easy does it now, but I'd like to do like water ski and stuff like that. I'm very active. I just I'm ready to get out there in the world. I really am, man. I am yearning, and I know a whole lot of people are. And I know the astrology is really going to be fire here in the next few months, and I think people just should just kind of hang out. I'm just I'm hanging out at home because I'm trying to save money until I can find someplace better to go. You know, so just trying to, just like everybody else, trying to make the best of a whatever situation. Anyway, I think that's about all I got. Yes, the Schumann resonance is all over the place. Oh, no, don't like your fluffy hair. No, don't. I like your fluffy hair. You're an alien. You know what? That's funny. Because I often say, because I was born in San Bernardino, and I go by latitude and longitude. Artie Pants, you're so cute. And so I'm like same latitude as LA. So I was born in San Bernardino. So technically I'm L alien. So yeah, I agree. I'm L alien. I would agree with that. So anyway, yeah, done running my mouth. Hope you have a rad evening. Peace.